I just basically handed over my hand and told him, yeah, let's go. And that took me for a ride of 12 years. I just was looking for the right thing in the wrong place. I started experimenting with different kind of drugs, from party drugs to marijuana. And after a few months, there was the opportunity of taking heroin. I just basically handed over my hand and told him, yeah, let's go. And that took me for a ride of 12 years. And it was a ritual for me. It's also like there was this, getting away from the insanity of society and finding that comfortable spot inside of me was basically what I was seeking after all, the spirit and the soul. But at one point I said, okay, I saw myself 10 years, 11 years, time was passing by, bare days were like really felt and were bringing me down. I said, okay, this is it for me. And I said, okay, instead of the brake pedal hasn't worked, so let's push the gas pedal full on. And that was cocaine. I ended up stopping with that because I ended up in prison. Yeah. My parents and brother and auntie were there, like everyone is crying, and they couldn't believe it. And when one of them grabbed me from my arm and were going down and they put me in the car, I felt this surge of light. Looked up at the sun from the window and I felt free. I said, finally I'm free. So the prison experience was quite light. It was quite transcendental, challenging to clean up, but it was something that I was set to do. Never in my life I felt as much being myself as much as I was in prison. I didn't feel judged. We were just all peas in the same pod. I never said I was a junkie. And now I found myself with these junkies. There was off my pride, and at the realization I kept moving forward. I remembering my mom coming. It was also always a tough one for her to come. They had to deal with their pride also, like this is my son. In regard to support and the prison system, apart from the nurses that they just wanted to give you a methadone dose, and if you have some pain or aches you just visit them, but no other form of support was given. The toughest part was to get back into society, into family. Well, you can say that the duration of NA meetings lasted for a year. My friend mentioned me something about an ayahuasca ceremony, and I decided to go for it. And in just my first night, I worked through all those barriers and blockages that I had in rehab. And that's when the real process started. So I see that as part of my rehab, which I took control of. And ayahuasca and other medicinal plants, that's how we call them, helped me to go beyond these societal, religious, cultural, familial traditions and structures. Very small percentage of people succeed in getting rehabilitated, and that says something. And even the concept of drugs that we have, the worst drugs are legalized, so definitely something has to change, and society has to take the responsibility that this is its own product. All these issues are a byproduct of society, and unless society takes its responsibility, it's gonna stay like this. I'm gonna mention the piece of advice that I was given when I was a kid, and it didn't work at all. The piece of advice when I was a kid, we had this Caritas mascot coming into schools. They would distribute flyers and stickers, and they used to tell us, don't use drugs, don't use drugs, don't use drugs. And that just made me convinced more of using drugs. So my advice is to take charge of your life. What you're looking for is not in the substances, it's within.